Hi everybody, let's do some Japanese study. So today we're going to learn a little bit about the Japanese writing system. If you have a look around, you can see we're in our lovely Japanese room with some Japanese landscapes to look at. But today what we're going to focus on is learning some kanji. So here's a bit of sample text here up on the board. And when you look at it first, it can be a bit daunting. There seems to be lots of different types of letters there. But it's broken up into three parts. So the bit that is highlighted blue now is called hiragana. And hiragana is just like our Western alphabet. It's a phonetical alphabet, and these shapes represent sounds. They don't have any other meaning other than the sounds. There's also a second phonetic alphabet called katakana, and that's often used writing system. So there's hiragana, as I was saying, that's kind of like our ABCs, but we'll cover that in a later lesson. And that's katakana as well. You'll notice the katakana looks more angular, but now this, as you can see, is quite a lot of kanji. There's actually, at the moment, there's 2,136 kanji listed by the government of Japan as commonly used kanji. And that you just saw there is the full list of kanji that students would learn by the time they leave high school or secondary school. But don't panic. Most Japanese books are not going to show you that list ever, because most people run away screaming. But actually, I've got more faith in you. I know by the end of this class, you will have learned at least 10 kanji, and you're going to be drawing them up here on the board. So first of all, this is a recording, but we've got two learners, two volunteers with us today. If you'd introduce yourselves, here is...
I am Darren.
Darren, and over here is...
Nice to meet you, I'm Connor.
So, although it's a recording, I really think you'll benefit from having other people in the class, because you'll see the questions that they ask, and you'll also see how they draw their kanji as well. In front of you, you'll find a little whiteboard with a guide on it as well. There's a square on it, and that's for you to practice your kanji. Let's just practice using the writing tools if you haven't used them in ENGAGE already. You'll find on your controller there's a trigger if you're on the Vive, or if you're on Oculus, and you simply hold the trigger, put your hand near the board, and you can draw lines like that. And then if you look at your controller, when your hand is near the board, it's context sensitive. You can erase it as well by pressing the delete button. So there we go. I hope everyone's okay with that.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, so now these drawings, let's have a look. What have we got around outside us? These drawings originated, the kanji, the pictographs, originated in ancient China. So just like in Europe, the way all the European countries adopted the Roman alphabet, the Chinese writing system, or kanji, was adopted by Japan. And it was actually adopted in the 6th century by Prince Shotoku, or Shotoku Taishi. And he is credited with introducing broad usage of the Chinese symbols. So when we look at these drawings, we're actually looking at a little bit of history and what the people were thinking back in those days when they were creating these images. So, as you can imagine, what sort of things were important to them? Well, commerce, counting, agriculture, all those sort of things. So let's start off with something as simple as you can get. Now you're going to see, I'm going to draw it on the board here, but at the same time you'll see it repeated up on the left and the right if you need any help. So let's start off with just about as simple as you can get. 1, ichi. Lovely, that's very nice, excellent. So there you go, you've already learned one kanji. So I'm going to erase that, but I'm going to make a list in red of all the ones that we've learned. And there we go. What about the next one then? Ni. Any guess what 2 would be? 2 lines, absolutely, that's it, 2 lines. So here we go. 1, 2. Now, we are just having fun, learning some of the simple kanji. But there is actually a rules to how you draw. Because if you think about it, in ancient China or Japan, they had an ink brush, and there'd be a natural flow of movement in how you draw the kanji. And they were drawing in a nice, neat square like this. So they tended to go left to right, top to bottom. But we're not going to worry about that. That's called kakijun. But we're not going to worry about that at the moment. We're just going to have fun playing around with them. So here we go. There we go. We've learned another kanji. This is 2. All right. And, oops, I've erased it. Oh, well. I'll write it again in a moment. So any guesses for number 3? Darren?
3 lines?
There you go. Wow, genius. We've already learned 3 kanji. So here we go. Now, the one on the top is about so big. The one in the middle is a little bit smaller. It's kind of like a sandwich. And then the one at the bottom is a bit bigger. And that's just to make it look nice and balanced.